We are all concerned about staying alive, but most importantly, very healthy. Okay, whatever happens, we will all depart, but we must do so in peace, not in sickness. And that's why we're having this conversation this morning. So let's start from the basics. Okay, when we talk about non-communicable disease, what is it and how is it different from the infectious diseases? Let me start with Dr. Paul Lartey.
Okay, thank you very much, Winston. Non-communicable diseases are what we call lifestyle diseases, and they are not caused by any infectious organism or a causative organism. They are diseases that are developed over a period of time, and therefore by the time you're showing symptoms, you're almost at a complicated point. And they've kind of overtaken the communicable diseases that are infectious diseases like malaria, typhoid, pneumonia, which used to be the most prevalent back in the days. But now we have lifestyle diseases as a result of what you do, how you live your life, and all that. And you won't find any particular causative organism, and they are chronic, and they also stay with you for a while before they cause any mortality. So those are the diseases that we call non-communicable diseases.
So let's look at what some of these diseases. So you've explained it to us. What are some of them, particularly the most common ones?
The most common one we have is hypertension. That's a high blood pressure. We have diabetes. We have obesity. We have high cholesterol levels. We have cancer is also one of them. Those are the main ones that we are dealing with in our part of the world. We have other ones like autoimmune diseases that are creeping up on us gradually. They are not that common, but they are coming up. The incidents of them are also showing up more commonly in our hospitals. So it's an area to watch out, autoimmune diseases.
Now, we've called them lifestyle diseases, but we also know that there are certain risk factors which could be genetically based, for instance.
Absolutely.
So while we say these are lifestyle diseases, which would suggest then that these are diseases that you may have because of how you live your life, how about family history also?
Absolutely. For most medical conditions, there's an underlying factor that predisposes you to getting it. But usually why we say lifestyle is because the lifestyle will trigger them. You can have a predisposition to it and live your whole life without necessarily getting it. But the underlying factor is there. If you don't live well, you engage in some kind of lifestyle, then the trigger. So it's someone will say and then you also engage in something that opens you up to that. So there are some people who may do that and not get it because they don't have the genetic predisposition to that. But if you have the genetic, there's no way of knowing. We don't do a thorough gene workup for everybody. So I can't say you have a genetic predisposition, so don't drink, don't do this, don't do this. So it's assumed that we all are. So let's just watch out for the lifestyle we live so we don't get it. We don't get the diseases.
I'm interested in the lifestyle because you say it's assumed we all are, and there are many of us who probably know that our parents have diabetes, they have high blood pressure,
yes,
they're on medication, so we know, and that means that you are predisposed to it. So let's get into it, the lifestyle choices. Okay, because today, Friday, I'm sure if we left office around 6 p.m. and started visiting the known hangouts at 7, we'll find a lot of boys, girls who are chilling.
Yeah.
Say they'll blow time, they're fat time.
Yeah.
So what are the do's and don'ts? Let's get to, so when you take, say, high blood pressure, what should we do right? So if you know this runs through your family, you know your parents or your grandparents had it, the chances of you getting it could be higher.
Yes.
Okay. So let's start with high blood pressure. So that's what actually creating a lot of problems these days.
Diet is one of the key factors that affects your blood pressure. Talking about a diet that is high in sodium. Most of our spices are artificial spices, monosodium glutamate, and sodium retention causes water retention, which increases the pressure in your blood vessels. We're talking about sugar diets, diets that are pro-inflammatory. When we say pro-inflammatory, you can just Google what a pro-inflammatory diet is. It causes inflammation in all parts of your body. The sugar, the flour, the carbs, a lot of them. And when the when you have that inflammatory system, it causes a trigger of hypertension. We're talking about lifestyles like sedentary lifestyles, a high fast life or a stressful life, moving from one place to the other, not distressing. And just sleeping is not it's not distressing. You have to have time to distress. And then we're talking about alcohol, illicit drug use, engaging in smoking. Those are things that are major triggers for people who are predisposed to. And then when we talk about diet, I forgot to mention the fatty foods. Of course, we have bad fats that are very common in our days. Those days, we used to share. I tell people when we were young, we used to share a bottle of Coke. But now I can have a Coke at any time I want. And certain meat proteins that were event-based, before Christmas and birthdays,
Christmas, Easter, and birthdays.
Yes, then you get to
we look forward to on your
Christmas,
birthday.
Easter,
but
birthday.
I go by like just walk out, and even as early as 11 a.m. you can get some cool pork joints.
Yeah, but that's because the economy's changed, hasn't
Yes.
it?
Yeah, we thank
We're
God
better
for-
than we used to be in the past.
And that is why we have non-communicable diseases coming up, because these things are no longer exclusive to even certain homes. Even you have it transcending to the low income homes, where they also get to engage in these affluent lifestyles and affluent living. The fact that economy is changing doesn't mean that we should get it's not good eating, it's not rich eating, it's actually poor eating habits that we've picked up. We can still have good meals that are healthy and that are good for our bodies.
People say when you talk about good meals, all the good meals you prescribe are meals that cannot be found in Ghana. You're telling me have broccoli, have this. Where am I going to get them?
As a matter of fact, we really have. Africa is blessed with lots of good vegetables and fruits. We have more fruits out there that they actually want to get most of ours, because ours are original and ours are organic, as they call it. So we're blessed with them. You don't have to do even that's why I said you just Google anti-inflammatory diet. You just have your tomatoes, your onions, just fruits, vegetables. It's good. You don't necessarily have to do the broccoli. Those are for them. So God was so good that He put foods that are designed for people in their geographic areas. So let's maintain ours. Let's follow what we have. Our oranges, our mangoes, and last time somebody was saying that the children of these days, they don't even like the mangoes. The mangoes are dropping. The mango fruits are dropping all over the place. Back in the days, no mango tree was spared. We would go hunting after school, before school. You couldn't find mangoes dropping during mango seasons, because these were things that we'll go after, we'll chase after, we'll get them, we'll get our stakes, get our stones, knock them down, because these are fruits that we love. But currently the young child wants to get some sweets, get some probably get some drinks, get some slushies, and that's all they think about. Whilst in our days we're eating oranges, chasing the mangoes, the guavas, healthy fruits. And there are a reason why, even though we're struggling with it, we'll be better than the subsequent generation, because it looks like we're getting our disease around our 30s. I see some 20s and even some 25s getting high blood pressure, which is a very bad trend that is coming.
Yeah, in the past you would expect people in their 50s, 60s.
Yeah.
These days, 20s, 30s. And you're asking, what could be the problem?
It's terrible. I don't know if she remembers a case we managed. We had to refer but a young guy, like we've had young guys below 35 come in with blood clots in their heart attacks, pulmonary embolism, strokes, and all that. And this was something we were not seeing previously. Even in our setting where it's just reproductive health, you come and then you see somebody, okay, they're interested in their reproductive, they're married for 2 years, 3 years, and they're coming. And then you see a high blood pressure, you're telling them, this is what we have to manage you for. They're not even interested in that. They just want why they came to you. I want a child. I say, no, you first have to be alive before you can get a child. Let's save you from that. And some come in very late, some come in. The problem with non-communicable disease is that you do not know. By the time you're showing symptoms, it might be too late. So you are asymptomatic, as we call it. That's why you need to go to the nearest facility and get a regular checkup. That's what we're here to encourage you. Just pass by. It doesn't take a lot. You check your blood pressure, take some labs, and then you're sure that you're good. At least you're good for the next 6 months, next 1 year, and then you can check up. Because by the time you're having a headache, a chest pain, it's probably too late.
Interesting. By the time you're having a headache or a chest pain, it's too late. So you say early detection is key.
Yes.
And you can only know when you run the routine checkups.
Yes.
So you don't have to say, I am okay. Like we say, oh, me, I don't... You know, that those who boast about the fact that I don't go to the hospital. Me, I'm never sick. You say we shouldn't do that anymore.
Absolutely not. You cannot. Because... you may not know if you're hypertensive, if I'm hypertensive. The only reason why I know I'm not hypertensive is because I check my blood pressure regularly. I'm in the hospital, the swig is there. Once in a while, I just put it on my my upper arm, and then I check. But if you're not checking, you are asymptomatic. No symptoms. When you're having headaches, blurred vision, you can't see well, you're having shadows, you're having difficulty in breathing, palpitations, as we call it, it's almost becoming troublesome. You're having a heart failure, you're having pre-stroke, you're having a kidney issue. Organ failure is about to set in.
How about those who say, I mean, I just talked about Friday, and I need us to talk about this because today you go out there, the boys do break bottles.
Happy hour.
Happy hour.
As they call it.
Yeah, they'll be breaking bottles. They say it's part of life.
Yeah.
Something must kill a man, they say.
Yes. We can engage in fun activities, which I mentioned. De-stressing is important because we're all chasing, we've all entered this rat race of making money and all that, and things are good now. It is important that in even our de-stressing, we engage in healthier things like that. Instead of going for back in the days, there was a research that said some alcohol is good, but I like to mention the fact that the new research that has come up says there is no, even a small quantity of alcohol can be detrimental to your health, and it's very important. And especially
someone is reacting there.
Yes, I love that reaction.
Also, you mean like?
Oh yes, recent studies that we found out is that even the smallest quantity of alcohol is bad. I'm sorry for the
so those who said wine is good for the heart. Those who said wine is good for the heart.
You can check with recent studies, and now we do what we call evidence-based medicine. So research was quite skewed back in the days.
So the bit about glass of wine is okay. Red wine is good for the heart.
No. You can check. And it's data statistics that is out there. So be careful, if especially if it becomes regular, something that you're doing regular. It is a lifestyle because it's not acute. It doesn't develop all of a sudden. It takes a while, and that's why the treatment also will take a while. It took about 15-30 years to develop that. We can't handle it in just a day or three like malaria. So it will not show up, it will develop over a long time. And like I said, get yourself to the nearest health facility, get it checked out, because you may never know what is popping up in your life.
Great. Now, how about, you talked about treatment. There's something you've done over the period, because there's always that conversation about treatment. You say you cannot, treat something that was built up in, say, 10, 15 years.
Yes.
So let's look at the treatment, because there's always that fear, and you are at the Chosen Hospital and Fertility Center.
Yeah.
I'm sure you may have come across even the boys who say these antihypertensive medications affect sexual performance.
Yes.
And so they won't take the medications.
So there's truth in that. Some antihypertensives affect sexual performance because it's dropping the pressure, and in the male sex organ you need that pressure to maintain erection. So it does, but that's why you report back to the facility and you be given an alternative that will not, and it doesn't affect everyone's sexual performance, but like I must mention, evidently untreated hypertension will affect your sexual performance. So in the acute way, the drug treatment might affect it. But if you don't get it treated, in the end, you have it's just like low pressure will damage the taps, will not cause water to flow. But high blood pressure can break the pipe that is bringing water to your house. So at the end of the day, water still doesn't get to your house. So if there's low pressure, water will not get there immediately. But the high pressure in the pipes going to your house can break it, and then you will not have water for longer days than if the pressure was low. So come back if you're having a problem with erection, if you're on an antihypertensive especially. And then we'll give you there's a long list of antihypertensive, and not all of them cause the regular ones we use. Yes, they do. The calcium channel blockers, which has been found to work in blacks mainly, do have that effect. Not on everyone though. So just come back, report to your nearest facility and say, oh, this one I've noticed this, and then we'll give you an alternative.
Mm-hmm. Someone just sent me a message, says, tell Pastor today is Friday. He shouldn't spoil the mood. Pastor, the boys say you are spoiling the mood.
Okay, now I guess the way they addressed me. Okay, so doctor now became pastor because I was hitting.
Today is Friday, Dr. Paul Ibrahima.
I think we can do some smoothies today if we go.
Oh, really? Instead of
I doubt.
Yeah, I think we can do the smoothie. It's just that the mood is needed because you need to let loose, and alcohol creates that disinhibition. It takes off the inhibition so that you can do what you usually not do, and that's what people need. Yes, I would say maybe indulge,
Moderation.
but not yes. Do it in moderation.
Let me get you, Dr. Ernestine Mensah, because you are trumpeting moderation.
Yeah.
And we always ask, what constitutes moderation? Because if you tell somebody one glass, he will go and buy the biggest glass and say, doctor, say one glass.
You want to preach.
So that's my glass.
I don't think there's a measure for moderation, but you know how much alcohol you can take, and you know what alcohol can do to you, and you know how much alcohol will get you to a certain level. I mean, getting tipsy and all that. So if I say moderation, don't get there. If you used to take, say, 2 bottles, let's do 1 today, and then we'll keep tapering it down till we do nothing at all. So yeah.
The boys will tell you, but I'm at the place.
Yeah, so just do a little. You can't do with smoothies, so don't do your usual.
I think the goal is actually to go off it, because as you grow older, the effects of alcohol are more. The problem with alcohol is it's a mocker, and at a point once you start, you need to increase the dose to get the same effect. But now we're recommending that you actually
bring it down,
de-escalate, like bring it down till you can
you
get to a point where you
all.
stop.
Yeah.
Because at 50 and at 60, your body can handle it again. So we're promoting getting more healthy stuff in, because especially when you've worked over a long period of time, you're retiring, you don't want to go spend your money, hard-earned cash, on medications, treatment, and the quality of life is bad when you're dealing with non-communicable diseases. At a point, the doctor will tell you you're diabetic, you can't eat this, you can't that, all because you overindulged in certain things. So I would advise, as much as we have fun, de-stress and all that, we should do a long-term focus when it comes to health. It will really help.
Now, Dr. Mensah, let me come to you.
Sure.
We are talking about adult, but these non-communicable diseases, through your practice, are you seeing children also suffering same, or for theirs is still the malaria and the various children diseases we know? Okay.
So even though most people who suffer these diseases, the non-communicable diseases, are adults, because we said that it's lifestyle and it develops over time, right? So most of the people we see are adults, but we see children with these diseases as well. There are children who have diabetes, there are children who have hypertension, and there are children who have cancers. I'm sure you know that there's a pediatric oncology unit at Kolebu with children there. So yeah, most of the people will be adults, but children also suffer these non-communicable diseases.
And I've been wondering, so when somebody comes to the hospital and you tell them, say you have diabetes, hypertension, or any of liver failure, and when you give them the news, what's usually the reaction? Does it surprise them? Do people know that because of their lifestyles they can easily get this, or when you tell them they're surprised?
Most people don't know. Most people don't know that they have these diseases. Some of them know they have it. They might have been told a year or two ago that they have hypertension, their BP is high, maybe put on some medication, defaulted, and stopped taking it. And then they come and see you again and you tell them that, oh, your BP is high, you have hypertension, are you aware? Those ones know. Though some of them may not tell you that I knew I had hypertension a year ago, I just defaulted my medication. But a lot of the people don't know that they have these diseases. And that's why we say that non-communicable diseases are like a silent killer. You have it, you don't know you have it. And then it's spoiling things like, and then you're getting complications. Dr. Lati said that by the time you know you get these
headaches and
things, you're already getting some complications in your body because you didn't even know you had these diseases to get medication for them. So most of the people get surprised to hear that they are hypertensive or they are diabetic or they have this or that. Most of them get surprised. And
let's go through the diseases again. Earlier, when Dr. Lati was speaking, he mentioned a few. So, what really are the non-communicable diseases? Can you list them for us, and maybe some of the symptoms that we should look out for?
Okay. So hypertension is one of them.
Hypertension.
Yeah.
Is it the commonest?
It is the commonest. So with hypertension, somebody may come and say, "Oh, I have a headache," or "I've had a headache that's not getting better even with paracetamol, and it's very bad headache." Another person may come and say, "Oh, these days when I walk or I do a little exercise, I feel breathless." Somebody will come and say, "Oh, makoma bontent, and my heart beats very fast these days." Some will come and tell you that they have blurred vision because it's affecting their eyes. Some will come and tell you that maybe they are not passing enough urine as they used to.
Hypertension, headache.
Yes.
Yeah. So what you need to understand is that the blood goes to
heart,
every organ.
Okay.
So pressure runs to every organ. So it can affect every organ. And end organ damage is what will give you the symptoms. So by the time you are describing any of these things, it's probably caused more damage in the body. The most vulnerable organs, usually you don't see them. That's the heart and the lungs. The heart, the kidney. They have very, very small vessels. So the least change in pressure, it affects them. So it can affect from head to toe. You can have symptoms. That's the non-communicable diseases.
So you've done hypertension and then you mentioned diabetes. Doc, go ahead.
Okay, so with diabetes, people will come and tell you that maybe I didn't used to wake up at night to pass urine till the next morning, but now I'm waking up about 3 or 4 times to pass urine during the night, and I don't understand what is going on. It's disrupting my sleep. I'm not able to sleep throughout the night. Somebody will come and tell you that I'm eating too much, or I'm drinking too much water, or I got a sore on my leg and it's not healing. And I don't understand why my sore is not healing. So, or I'm losing weight. I used to weigh, say, 70 kg. Now I'm weighing 50. Or within 3 months, I've lost 20 kg without doing anything. I don't understand. So those are some of the things they'll come and tell you, and you'd check and realize that they have, say, diabetes.
So hypertension, diabetes.
Yes.
You've given us 2.
Yes.
Any others?
We can talk about high cholesterol, which is actually asymptomatic. Usually there's a tendency for people to think the fat ones or the big ones have more high. But what I've noticed is that they're usually lean people who tend to eat and say, okay, they're eating and not getting big. The fat is going somewhere, so you have to check. Most people that come with high cholesterol are usually the slim one. The big ones rarely.
I see.
So obesity, high cholesterol is one of them, and then the cancers. These we add them to the non-communicable diseases because apart from a few, maybe cervical cancer. This month is cervical cancer awareness month. But apart from that, most of them, there is no causative organism about that. And they are also silent killers. You usually don't get any symptom until the very end. That's why you need regular checkups, especially with the men. I like to point this out. Men don't like going to hospitals because they don't like checking up. They don't like. So there's a saying that women get sicker, men die faster, because women will rush to the hospital the least, and because men think it's a sign of weakness to succumb to any illness or to admit any form of ill health or not. So they don't go to the hospital. By the time, so that the incidence is higher in women, but the complications are more in the men. So the man will be carried to the hospital, be found dead, or probably breathless, stroke, something, before you realize that a man has an issue. And then I mentioned the autoimmune diseases that are gradually picking up. Not all. That's why there's a lot of pharmacies out there, a lot of herbal medications out there. We must get thorough diagnosis for our conditions. Not every headache is malaria. Not every fever is an infection. There are other things that can cause a fever, a flare. I was dealing with one girl that we're treating for a chest infection for a very long time. It wasn't going away, and she went to see a specialist, and she's been diagnosed of an autoimmune disease. It's coming up, especially when you have these unexplained fevers and headaches and all that, and we're just popping the pills because they give us symptomatic relief. Of course, when you take para, the headache will go down, but what is the underlying cause? What is causing that? Is not something that the paracetamol can deal with. So these are the lists that we're dealing with. Outside they have a lot more, but in Sub-Saharan Africa, these are the main things that we're dealing with when it comes to non-communicable diseases.
I was reading a report some time ago that suggested that these days the younger people are off alcohol compared to our time and our parents' times. Alcohol was more preferred, but now they are on the smokes, the shishas and the weed and all these other
illicit drugs.
Yes. What problem is it causing for us?
That's why there's a rise in non-communicable disease, because these things cause inflammation. It's the main thing is causing inflammation in your body, and then destroying the organs that are supposed to be producing the hormones that may work, especially for diabetes, even cholesterol. So it disrupts the whole system of your body, and because of that, you can't take these drugs consistently, and then it also affects mainly your kidney. Once you have a kidney damage, your blood pressure will start going up. And most young men, especially, it's not even the foreign ones or the orthodox ones. These herbal medications, these aphrodisiacs that people take, they are in bottles. They don't know the content. All they need is that it works fast for them. It gives them. They are damaging your body, and these damages will show up as non-communicable diseases. So let's watch out. They are on the rise, and especially. We're not talking about 40s, 50s anymore. We are doing late 20s and 30s. Late 20s and 30s. And I shudder to think of what will happen in the next 10 years if we don't watch out for some of these things.
Great. In studio with us this morning, Dr. Paul Atewu and Dr. Ernestina Mensah, both at the Chosen Hospital and Fertility Center. You can definitely join the conversation. Join us on WhatsApp 05511119997. 05511119997. Send those messages to us. Now, this one says, at what point will one be declared hypertensive?
Okay. So,
and let me just add, it says, I am not hypertensive, but someday I had a spike to 160/111. But after that day, it's been dropping till it's normal now. Do I have to be worried? And what must I do?
Okay. So there are situations that might cause the spike. So we don't take just one spike, one reading for the, but 160, that means you have to be on monitoring. So I call you. I'll say hypertensive that we're monitoring. We'll not put you on drugs, but we'll be checking like he or she's doing. It is recommended that she gets regular checks. So you have to get 2 readings above 140/90, and then you'll be called hypertensive. It's not all hypertensive that are managed on drugs, I must say. Okay. Some lifestyle modification. So I don't know, possibly that alarm was what she needed and she's probably changed her life. If you go, probably eating well, probably reducing. And I've seen people, including people outside, who just by changing the way they're eating, the fast food diet, have had a significant drop and are off their medications. I'm telling you this thing about lifestyle modification works. So before, when you see any of our textbooks for any of these NCDs, we call them, first is lifestyle modification, diet, and then exercise. That's why initiatives such as what Joy is having on the 31st should be encouraged, but not as a one-off thing, but something that you should start your own personal journey.
Okay. Cosby says, what about non-alcoholic beer? Why the cane always on alcoholic but not on these energy drinks and sodas?
Absolutely. So like we said, pro-inflammatory. Sugars are pro-inflammatory. They cause inflammation, insulin spikes that cause reactions in your body and cause you to have kidney failures, diabetes, and hypertension. So it's not just about the alcohols. The sugars are very the rise of them is too much. It's too much in our society now. Every week we have a new product coming out that has sugar in it, and they are not health-based. They are artificial. They are not the fruits. They are not the juices. They are artificial. It's a mango drink, and you pick up, and there's no content of mango in it. You pick up a watermelon, or you pick up an orange drink, and there's nothing about orange in it. These are just sugar-laden drinks that will cause inflammation in your body, and so like. Even before you see a dietitian, you can just Google and say anti-inflammatory diet, and that's where you go. Whole grains. If you're doing a smoothie, it's better maybe it comes from your own blender. You get your fruits, wash them, and then get it done. And then you're eating less carbs, less sugars. You're fine. So I agree with them. Non-alcoholic is as bad as alcoholic.
Now, this message says, good morning. Whenever we talk about balanced diet, we mention foreign foods and vegetables. How can we, the locals, follow? Unfortunately, today, all our foods, even from the farm or field or the farm, no fruit, green leaves, vegetables are safe in the market. We consume chemicals or slow poison every day.
Yeah. So the heavy metals have adverse effects. But our research has shown that they are not yet even in our, so mercury, arsenic, and all those things in the galamsey, they are not yet in our fruits yet. And good washing and good washing and cleaning can help you get rid of those things. So it is important that you eat fruits and vegetables. Our grandparents were not getting these things because she was doing the contomere that you probably don't like. She was doing the leaves, she was doing the ademe, she was doing the okra, and these are the things we're talking about, not necessarily the salads that have lettuce, broccoli, and all those kale. No, we're not talking about that. Let's do our indigenous fruits and vegetables. You can have a fruit salad, watermelon. Our watermelon, I was going through in summer the other day, and you see watermelon on the street. Nobody was buying it, getting rotten and all that. Whilst this can help a family, so let's get the watermelon, let's get the pawpaws, let's get the mangoes, let's get the oranges. We are blessed with these things, and they are lying waste on whilst we run to the fast food joints to help us.
I want to add that when they say that we don't have fruits and vegetables here, I disagree, because when you go to the markets, we have fruits, we have vegetables. I don't remember the last time I ate all those vegetables and fruits they are mentioning.
Broccoli.
No, but I eat fruit. But I eat fruits and I eat vegetables.
You get them from our markets?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you say you don't get fruits and vegetables from our markets. I don't agree.
That they're cheap.
Contomere is there. Ademe, ayoyo. They are all green.
Let me bring in this message.
Leaf.
They are there.
This message says, Doc, we the tennis players do some beer after playing tennis. At least with exercise, we can take 2 bottles. So he's suggesting that they've done the exercise. So some of the boys say, "Oh, we've exercised, and based on the exercise, Charlie, let's put some stress on the body."
The worker deserves his wage.
Oh no.
So at least they're working out. So I'll give them a plan than those sitting, drinking, and doing nothing. It is just so at least when you get to zero, at least you don't have some poison in your system. That's what I can say. You're burning off, because alcohol is converted to calories and all that, and then that's where it's converted to sugars in your body, and that's what you are burning off. So at least they're doing it. They're doing it right.
There's one thing I want to say. Most of the young people don't know that they have hypertension, and the sad part is that for most of them, by the time we're seeing them, they have kidney failure, and so they come in with kidney failure, and you find that they have hypertension, which they didn't even know about. Hypertension can cause kidney failure. Kidney failure can also cause it's two-way. So it's better to check and be sure you don't have hypertension or you don't have kidney failure. I mean, at least if you know you have hypertension, you'll be on some medication and then we'll check it, than to just wait till you get to the end stage, right? And the other thing I also want to talk about is the hard, what's it called? The drinks, the
liquor?
Not the liquor, the energy drinks.
Energy drinks.
Good. So the energy drinks, painkillers. Yes, those things lead to some of these increasing your risk of getting kidney disease, which will now come and let you get the hypertension. So people go to work, get tired, and every day they get back to the house, they want to take some painkiller, not prescribed. So somebody has been on some painkiller for like years, and it's causing damage to your system without you knowing. So so please, I want to tell the public or advocate that stop taking painkillers that are not prescribed.
Yeah, there are some people who also are trying to drink a lot of water. At least that's what they say. So you see all these Stanley cups and mugs, and all the time they have water in it, but they add infusions to the water. So there's this whatever infusion, this infusion, that infusion. Any advice for people like that? So they are trying to drink water, but not just the raw water. There is always something added to the water.
Okay, so
that green tea or that herbal tea or this infusion or that infusion. Any advice for people like that?
Water is good, and Stanley cups and all the jars and helping you to drink. Somebody told me that they realize that anytime they have their cup, they drink more, which is a good thing.
It's a cup no boy. So if you don't use it to drink water,
that's it. And see, anytime they have the cup, they drink more water. Like at the end of the day, they realize that they've had enough water. It's good. The infusions you're adding, who prescribed those infusions for you? And do you know the content? What's actually goes in those infusions? What is it made of? I don't know what it is. I don't know what they're doing for you. I don't know what your doctor thinks about them. But show these infusions to your doctors or people who understand, or read the labels and know what is there. Not all the things you're drinking may be good for you, and I'm sure because they drink it with their water, they do it every day. So what's going into your system? You don't really know.
Okay.
And these are chemicals.
John says, bearing in mind that most of these non-communicable conditions are genetically linked, how is gene sequencing integrated into our healthcare in order to isolate potential risk to health early enough so as to be aware of oneself? Dr. Latte.
Genetic labs are quite expensive to set up. I think we're having a conversation with our boss to set up a genetic lab for Chosen, because we need to. Most people who come from outside, we have clients coming from outside, they want to know, screen for all these diseases and all that, and it's quite expensive. There are few genetic labs, even in West Africa, to talk about. We send most samples out of the country. So we're dealing with, we've not finished dealing with malaria. Is still a burden. Not talking about that. So malaria is still an issue. We're seeing more malaria patients than hypertensive. We're just having more people die of cardiovascular disease than that. So most of our funds in this, and we've not finished fighting the basic. So I would say genetic stuff are high up there. Maybe very soon Chosen will set up its genetic lab, and then you
Yeah.
can come in to run those labs. But it's not cheap to put that burden on. Not a lot of people can afford it. Paternity tests even just became popular because it's a form of genetic testing. But those days, not a lot of people can afford it. That's why you're having many people go, okay, you are not the father. It's just coming up. But it didn't start now where people were not the fathers of their children. But the testing wasn't being done because you couldn't afford it. To put that on the government and say the public health system should cater for that will be too much. So more private people will set it up for us to let people know, okay, I'm predisposed to hypertension. But the simple test you can do is a family history.
That's it.
A family history will tell you all that. Your uncles, your aunties, your father passed away because of stroke. And most of those sudden deaths that were attributed to witches and wizards and most of them were hypertension or cardiovascular related diseases, or and all those things. Most of them were, it's just that studies were not being made then. So if you've had any of those unexplained deaths, you might be dealing with a non-communicable disease in the family. And you don't need a genetics test to tell you that you are predisposed already to that condition.
As part of our wellness conversations for the month of January, we're talking about your health, and the focus today is on non-communicable diseases. And already I see many of you sending in messages. We're going to be activating the phone lines shortly on 055 1111997, 055 1111997, so that you can speak to Dr. Paul Lartey and Dr. Ernestina Mensah. But first, I'm sure you guys have heard the latest from MTN. If not, then listen. Because for those of you who loved MTN Free After One, prepare for the upgraded experience that is MTN Free After One Extra. Now, let me tell you what the Extra is all about. With MTN Free After One Extra, you can talk for 1 whole hour uninterrupted while paying for only the first minute of every 10 minutes that you talk. Which means for every 10 minutes you talk within the hour, you only pay for the first minute, and you get to talk for 60 minutes straight with no interruptions. You like what you hear? Well, that's not enough for a good customer like you. So you get 100 megabytes of data for free after your first call on Saturday. So you see, now's the time to talk extra with all the people you love. To subscribe to MTN Free After One Extra today, just dial *550#, *550#, and follow the prompts.
Kofi, there is the Ghana Blockchain and Tokenization Conference coming up. Yes, it's organized by a UK-based fintech company, and the theme is blockchain and real estate tokenization. Now, if you attend this as a participant, you will learn how real estate tokenization works. You invest through fractional ownership with small capital. You also get to network with top investors and decision makers, reduce fraud with blockchain transparency, get early access to new property opportunities. And if you're a blockchain founder, if you're a developer, you should attend this. If you're a Web3 entrepreneur, if you're a crypto investor, if you are startup hubs and those in the startup hubs and the tech communities, and university students and graduates and the general public, really, if you want to just learn about this, it's open to you. It's happening tomorrow, Saturday, 24th January. Time is 2 p.m. The venue is Marriott Hotel, and the rate, just guess, it's free.
Oh, that's
free.
nice.
Tomorrow, 2 p.m., Marriott Hotel. It's free. So if you want to learn about blockchain and tokenization, you need to be at the Ghana Blockchain and Tokenization Conference. You can call or WhatsApp 053-210-4742 and 024-236-0823 if you want a special seat. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you about Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited. You know they're your number one supplier of quality office essentials, equipment, and furniture at affordable prices. They've introduced an online store for your shopping convenience, which means you can now shop by simply logging on to kingdomstoreonline.com. Without physically coming to any of their branches, it's hassle-free, and they will arrange delivery to your home and office within a reasonable time. They offer free delivery within Accra and Tema and accept payments via Momo across all networks. Terms and conditions have applied. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmarks. Now, Abena Boateng says, Winston, please ask the doctors, what about we, the coffee drinkers? This question keeps coming.
Yeah, coffee.
Yeah.
There's an acceptable level of coffee you should be taking. The stimulant is good, but the caffeine content That's why I say there's a required level that you shouldn't exceed. Some people become addicted, and that's where the problem starts. For anything that you be taking into your body regularly, because it becomes a habit, lifestyle. Overdoing and overindulging can cause all sorts of problems. So a cup of coffee a day is not too bad, but some people live by it 3, 4, 5. That's quite excessive.
Yeah, I know that. I know some of those people. This one says, I take normal white paracetamol once a while without prescription. Is it okay?
No, it's not okay. Why are you taking normal white paracetamol?
White paracetamol. Okay, so
for that headache
because or that pain, have the pain checked out. Because that headache may be something else. So what you're doing is that you are dealing with the symptom, not the underlying cause. Okay. And the underlying cause can be very terrible. It can be very dangerous.
I said no. It's para. Para is
using para.
These days, para we put it in our mouth and we chew.
It's wrong. Kojo, that is wrong. You don't just take
go to the
para
hospital
and
find out what's happening.
Okay, this one says, anytime I go to the hospital, my BP is very high, but at home, it's very normal.
Okay.
White coat hypertension. So, yes, we have white coat hypertension. So you should check at various places, and it still means that you are predisposed to getting. That means in situations your pressures can shoot up, and it's not just about the high pressure. The fluctuations are even more dangerous than just because when it stays there, the body can adjust, but the sudden changes is what the body can withstand. So monitor it for some time, and then let your your doctor know about it.
So the phone lines have been activated now, 0302-216-541 and then 055-1111-997. Mami in Teshi says, good morning. Thanks for this education. One problem for those of us who are trying to drink more water is non-availability of public washrooms. I had to hold my urine till I got home when I once visited a public office.
That's troublesome. Holding your urine stasis leads to urinary tract infections, and so that's a challenge. We just have to plead with our city authorities to make these things available. But the hotels and
exactly.
the how do you call it, the pubs and all these restaurants have that. You can people are looking for specific designated places to urinate. I just say you can walk into a hotel, walk into a restaurant, and then ask for the washroom. They should help you.
Yeah, I think by convention, hotel, restaurants, the malls, all those become public places.
Yes.
So you can use
it.
their washrooms.
This message says, I add a little salt to my water, but this is not every time. Is it okay? Most of the time it's early in the morning intake that I add a pinch or a few pieces to.
I don't know why she's adding salt to her water. So
to give it some taste.
No, please. Water is tasty enough.
These days there is different types of water.
Yes.
Fizzy, non-fizzy.
But water, the taste of water is okay as water. So why can't you take water as water and you want to add some taste by adding
the string salt, and that's what the string salt. The thing about salt is that it contains sodium, and sodium leads to water retention, which increases hypertension. So that you should be careful about the salts and the additives you're putting into your water.
Let's get onto the phone lines now. Amy is in La Paz. Amy, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, please, my question. Is it okay to be taking this active water? Because someone advised me before. And so I'd like to hear from you as well.
Okay.
If yes, what quantum? Sometimes you can take about 3 bottles at a go. You don't get the satisfaction for your test. But then I hear there's caffeine in it. But what quantum of caffeine? I don't know. Please, can you help me?
Okay. Dr. Mensah and Dr. Latte.
I would say drink ordinary water. It's these things are because of our palates. We're predisposed to. We've developed or we've acquired taste buds that want something sweet, something tangy, and that is why they're using them as marketing strategies. I don't want any beverage company coming after me.
But hard work. We want some supplementary energy to keep us going. So, active water, some energy drink here and there. And every now and goes, Abirabe Bobo to keep you going.
No. I must stress that the alcohol, the bitters, and all those things. They are becoming troublesome, and that's why we have a lot more young people coming up with hypertension and non-communicable diseases. We're trying to run a campaign, Ghana Health Service trying to run a comprehensive campaign against some of these things, and it is important that you know that these drinks, these energy drinks, and all these especially the bitters, long-term use would affect your
So
system.
can Amy drink?
Look, hold on the bitters bit. Let me get onto the phone lines. I'll get back to you because that's a very important conversation to have.
Yeah.
A lot of the boys these days, they like the bitters. Ni Inosu, Ni, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
So my pressure is usually low. Almost all the time, I go to the hospital is 90, 100, not usually high. And once I was told to watch my cholesterol. So I have done figures and what I have to do. And,
Is it your systolic that is at 90 or what?
between 90 and high, I usually have low pressure, low blood pressure usually.
Okay.
Okay, so for a low pressure patient, you're either very active in life or you're involved in exercise, and therefore your body has built that capacity. But if you are symptomatic, so if it's not below 90/60, like the systolic 90, diastolic 60, we're not worried. But if you're symptomatic, which means you're having dizziness, you're having palpitations, you're having flashes of light and all those things, you have to report. It might be a cardiac problem, or it might be a drug you are on. It might be something that is getting into your body. It must be checked out by maybe a cardiologist or a physician specialist. It's very important. 90/60 is not too bad if you're very active. But most active people have low pressures, which is good for them.
Okay.
So that's why we encourage you to be active, very energetic.
Let's go to New Bawe. Of course, we are very active. Tomorrow, I have my walking competition with David Maxuga. Yes, 15 kilometers walk.
Wow.
Kwame, good morning.
We need
Good
a
morning.
numbers.
And please, the reason why people go buy medicine from the doctor.
Kwame, can you reposition yourself? We can hardly hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I think it's better now.
Yeah. The reason why people go to pharmacies and chemists to buy painkillers is sometimes the attitude of the hospital staff. You see, when you go to the hospital, the tendency for the hospital staff to the nurses some nonchalant attitude. So they're not encouraged to go to the hospital for medication or for treatment. Because I'm in a pharmacy, I've been around for about 14 years, and I see this trend continuously. So I advise the hospital staff because I'm a pharmacist. When you come to me, I'll be nice to you, ask you questions. If I cannot help you, I refer you to the hospital. But the hospital staff must be friendly. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kwame in New Bawe. And he's complaining about attitudes in our health facilities, driving away people.
That's true. But for the private sector, it's a different thing. We like to welcome you, so we put a lot in our it's a money making apart from everything. So we'll deal with any person that drives away the staff because of bad attitude. So the pressure is on the public health system, where a lot more people who can afford the private health go there. And the pressure, I must say, is because of the workload. But yes, probably need to do better in handling people and all that. But if we get more doctors, we have the government being able to employ more people, especially in Accra, and there are no shortages. I'm sure when the burden reduces, our nurses and doctors, we are very, very nice people.
Yeah.
Now,
very nice.
Okay, let me go to Claude, and then I'll come back. There's a message from Papa and Son, which is very important. Claude in Tema, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Winston.
Yes, Claude.
Yes, about the fruits and vegetables. You know, God has a plan for us, which we have haven't recognized. We have seasons where you have fruits in abundance, maybe watermelon, mangoes, alasan, tomatoes. There are times you have them in abundance. When they come those times and the prices are very affordable, we are talking about cost and certain class of people cannot buy. But these things come in season, and we should be able to eat as much as we can eat. When the season passes out, you go to the next available thing that comes in abundance. Let's take tomatoes for instance. When it's in season, I don't see why anybody should use canned tomatoes to cook when tomatoes is in season. So we should watch the seasons, and when they are in abundance, eat as much as we can. Encourage our children to eat fresh oranges, watermelon, mangoes, not the smoothies and the juices they sell in the shops.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Claude, for your advice. But Papa Nsani Dukrum says, good morning, historian Amwa. Please, the cassava drink, is it good? The cassava beer. So there's this whole talk about cassava beer. And he's asking whether it's good for people above 50 years. Yes, cassava beer.
Cassava beer. Like I said, research shows that alcohol is not, there's no advantage in alcohol to the body in preventing non-communicable diseases. So if you say it's good, I don't see the point. Can you take it once in a while? But if it's good that you something you indulge in regularly.
Because when we're talking about coffee, doc said, you can drink it in moderation. But it gets to wine and beer and other things. Okay. And he said no.
Let's go to Taifa, where Emmanuel is. Emmanuel, good morning.
Good morning, Winston. How are we?
God is still taking care of his children. How about you?
Yeah. Oh, great. Great to say, Father. So I just wanted to find out whether people with AS, sickle cell, are predisposed to headache.
To what headache?
Those that I know that have severe migraine, most of them are AS. So I just wanted to find out, and then because whatever you say, they say migraine is treatable. Is it true?
Emmanuel, okay, so we can't really say yes to this. I think that we need to do a research on people with AS and how often they have headaches and the types of headaches they have, and then we can talk to this. But as it is now, I don't.
I think, Gina, you should change it. Change your public health research.
Maybe to people with AS and their predisposition to headaches.
I don't know.
We'll see.
Okay, please do that. And,
we'll see.
We'll come back to you. But this one says, good morning, Winston. My name is Kwesi from Kede. I'm 45 years. My sugar level is around 5.4. Okay. What can I do to reduce this figure if possible? The last time I checked my blood pressure last week, it was 109/82. Is it good? My main problem is my level of cholesterol, which is elevated a little bit.
Okay, so 5.4, it's good. I think whatever you're doing to maintain it, it's okay. You don't need to drop it any further. Any further drop might get us into issues. The cholesterol, yes, you have to reduce the fats, you have to reduce the sugars also, and then exercise. Regular exercise, not just one-off exercise, will help burn the fat. If it is that bad, then we have to put you on medications. But we advise, because we're into lifestyle, that you reduce the bad fats that you're taking. When I'm talking about seed oils, all the seed oils, the oils we must be consuming are maybe olive oil and then coconut oil. Those ones are better, but the seed oil, palm oil is a bit troublesome, so we'll have to hold up with that one. But the seed oils are a bit terrible, and then whole grain, we have to eat more better foods that reduce the cholesterol, like avocado, oatmeal, granola, and all those things. Those are good, that help to take down your cholesterol to an appreciable level.
Let's go to Accra. Ro is our last caller. Ro, good morning.
Hey, Winston, top of the morning to you, sir.
Top of the morning to you also.
Great. And the discussion we have in this morning. But then the question has got to do with the water we drink in Ghana. are the doctors or the nutritionists in your studio, can they tell us the water on a Ghanaian market? Because trust me, you can bring some water expert also into your studio, and they tell you the water on the Ghanaian market is full of fat. It's full of fat.
It's full of what?
Water are we drinking?
You say the water is full of what? Fat?
Fat.
No, you go and check the nutrients. You go and check the nutrients on the various water on the market.
Okay.
Check it. You bring all the water, the bottled water you ever know, mention them, bring them to your studios and check the nutrients on the water. And so you ask yourself, why is it that Ghana Standard Authority isn't allowing this to be on the market? So they say we should drink water. Which water should we drink?
Okay.
I think the
for the
FDA licenses these things, and the content of the water is displayed and is checked. And once the FDA has approved, I think it should be wholesome enough to consume. Maybe further research will have to be conducted on the allegation he's making. I leave that to the public, to the FDA to do. But for now, we can take the water.
Now, this one says non-iodidated sea salt hydrates and also becomes an electrolyte when added to water and drunk.
Yeah.
I add about half a teaspoonful to a cup of water every morning and drink as the first thing. Sea salt contains over 80 trace minerals, which we need every time.
All right.
Yes, that's okay. But overdoing it can lead to other, and also you have to make sure that it is the sea salt. We only have a problem with some of the pathogens in there. So just do it in moderation because of the sodium content. You pee it all right, but some gets retained as well and can cause hypertension.
Yes, let's end on the bitters bit, the bitters.
Yeah, before you come to the bitters, I want to debunk one thing. Kojo said paracetamol, common paracetamol, they just put it in their mouth and paracetamol is not common, and so I don't want you to say that again.
Yes, ma'am.
And I don't want you to just put paracetamol in your mouth and chew.
Please, we are
Please
sorry.
get a prescription.
Growing up, I was giving my example the other day.
You are grown now. You were growing up then.
At whose name MMB 760.
Please, you are grown now.
Mix it. Mom, it's here.
Motivate.
Why? Para, common.
Dr. Latte, the bit about the bitters these days.
Yeah.
Charlie, the boys are they like it.
Yeah.
They do everything for the bitters.
It boosts performance. Yes. So they would because you get addicted. One of my guys, I was cautioning him about stopping that kind of lifestyle and said, it's more addictive than cocaine. I was like, what is he talking about? Is it the bitters? I said, no, what I do after I take the bitters is more addictive than cocaine. Stopping it will be a struggle. And that is it's a trend. And yes, the effect of it, you're trading. Actually, there's an exchange going on. You're trading immediate pleasure for years of some disease and some debilitating disease. You don't want that. We found people pass away. We found people picked up after sexual encounters. We found people who have had bleeds in their head. That is a stroke. We found heart attack people as a result of some of these things. So we like to caution the general public. Yes, whatever you do, but engage in them. And the thing about those things that because it's addictive, if you've not started, don't. If you're on it, try as much as possible to do it in moderation until you can stop, because it is your health you're throwing away. Don't trade your life for 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. Maybe that thing makes you go for 45 minutes. But even doing that act for 45 minutes, it's too intensive on your body. If you take any medication, someone will say a good sexual act, 5-8 minutes is okay. But some people go and go and go and go. You're not a machine. You're not.
So all those who have been saying, me boy Juma,
1 hour. What are you doing? What are you digging?
Dr. Poplate,
I don't.
Dr. Ernestina Mensah of the Chosen Hospital and Fertility Center. Thank you very, very much. For
I was going to ask about those who have also substituted water with coconut water. These days, I see that a lot.
Yes, a lot of people take
Some
coconut
30
water.
seconds.
Coconut
reaction to
water
that?
is good. It's hydrating, it's refreshing. We advise it. It's just that now they do a lot of additives. You should be careful what they add to the coconut water. But coconut water is very hydrating, very good for you.
Well, that's all from us here on the Super Morning Show as part of our Health and Wellness Month conversations. We need to start 2026 right, okay, with full strength so we can see the year through.